created the future of the book, which is called Simple Multimedia Smart Book or SIMS book. And so my writing, I should circle back to that, my writing is, it must be original, it must have its own platform, and it must be in this format, which is the future of the book. And the future of the book, SIMS book, it includes an ebook, you have an audio book. So when you publish a book, you do an audio, you do it in 4 formats. You do an audio, the same script, the same manuscript. AI can do it now like in a flash. You do an audio book, you do an ebook, and you do printed, softcover, and even hardcover. And you can get companies in the US and in Canada to do books on demand.
Yeah.
So you write a book, you send them your manuscript, they can do 25 copies, 50 copies, or even 12 copies. And as it sells, and it's very cheap, right? Some of this, $5 per book, US. So it's very, very efficient and inexpensive and professional and high standard. And we've created this platform to make it happen for authors. And anybody who wants to write can connect with me, and we can make it happen, right? And our company, the umbrella is a publishing company, but we do things in this new format, SIMS book, and we have our own publishing platform, which we're developing into being not only a store like Amazon, but also a library. And we encourage people to do original work. Don't just go create a story and publish it. Really think about it, really research your subject, really get into the meat of it. Which leads me to say that is what I'm doing. So I'm writing one novel, Petamber. I'm writing one novel. The work that I really like is Marcel Proust's In Search of Lost Time.
Oh boy.
Which is a 9-volume novel.
Oh boy.
And it's 1 million, and I have it in my library at home. So my goal, all these, I'm a big thinker. I set out to do big things, like Kaicho News when I was so young, That's my personality. So I'm writing for the whole of my life, one novel, which is called Nightmares of Knowledge. And it's very dystopian, utopian, and very futuristic as well. The 4th volume is finished. It was published in 2001 in Canada. So I'm on the 2nd volume. And because I'm building this platform, it's, waiting until it's finished. Hopefully in a year or 2, all that is done. I can go fully into writing the next 9 volumes and publish them. And so Nightmares of Knowledge, think of it as this is how I think of my writing.
Let's talk about the published book that you have.
Right. So it's like a tree, that
knowledge,
that tome of a book, that epic story is like a million words, 10 volumes, but it's like a tree. And the tree has different branches. Now, with my Guyana books, I have 3 books I have to release of Guyana. One on Donald Ramatar's presidency, which I have, and I keep updating it. The second one is the Walter Rodney Commission, which I think was very, very significant in the history of this country, that we actually faced ourselves and exercised social justice to say what happened to Walter Rodney so many years ago, and let's face this thing. Let's not push it under the carpet anymore. And to me, President Ramatar showed tremendous courage and even maybe sacrificed his presidency to accomplish this thing. And so I want to get a book out on that, and my role in it, because I did play a role in the commission. So I want to, and everything I write is first person. I believe in first person narrative, like a narrator, something like F. Scott Fitzgerald, The Great Gatsby. I want to be that narrator type of person. So my 3 books on Guyana, which is one is a collection of all my columns, published in newspapers, over 1,000 columns, it's a lot. And then the Walter Rodney thing and the Ramatar stuff. Now, Nightmares of Knowledge, it's a global book, it's a global story, but Guyana plays a big part in it. Because my biography, fictionalized, is in all my work. It's in the book.
Yeah, it encompasses, well, obviously, it will encompass what's happening in Guyana and on the world stage.
Yes, yes.
Let's still stick on self-publishing. Lots of people dismiss self-publishing, calling it a glorified authorship. And they think that not much editing has gone into it, and proofreading and all that. What's your take on that?
So, because there's something that we love about literature and books, it's all verified. It has to go through a professional process. I mean, there are people who now can just take anything and print it and say, hey, I have a book. But really and truly, books traditionally have been a verified process, a verified thing. We put our stamp on approval on this thing. It's a good work, it's a good author, it's worth its salt. You know what I mean? Self-publishing takes away from that a lot because the verification process is not there or could not be there. Like you say, a professional editor, proofreading even, all those things, right? However, I move away from the term self-publishing. I don't think we have any more. We live in a world today, so 2025 is very different from 2024, much less 2020, much less 2015. We're in a brand new world. And here's my goal, Petamber, as a Canadian Guyanese, but I live in Canada. My goal as a Canadian is to, before I die, if I can accomplish this, I'd be so happy. Every human being.
Hope you get a chance.
Well, I'm working on it. Every human being, and I believe this, has a story and therefore is a writer or an author. Every human being is an author. And every human being, therefore, every human being should write and publish a book. If we have 8 billion humans on the planet today, at least the adult population, which is maybe half of that, so 4 billion, should be producing books, should be writing and publishing books. Now, the only way they can do that is what you call self-publishing. But we need to build a world system. We need to build a world the way everybody, we built the real estate industry globally. We built the car manufacturing industry for human beings. And we say, spend your life and go buy a car. And a car costs you, you know, generally speaking, maybe in Guyana you could get a Japanese car for 5,000 US or something. But generally a good car is 20,000, 30,000 US. And a lot of people in Canada, America, even here, would buy a car and spend so much time paying for that loan. And then they buy a house. And now in Guyana, you got to have millions of dollars to buy a house.
Yeah.
Even US dollars. Now people are talking about 100 million for a house. So it's a huge mortgage. But we built a world system that says to people, spend your life paying for a house, spend your life paying for a car, and just work and pay bills. We should really be saying, and it's insulting, because now we're talking about artificial intelligence, and we call it intelligence, but it's artificial, and humans are freaking out, oh, artificial intelligence is going to take away our jobs, and we're human beings. We're supposed to be more intelligent than the machines that we create.
Indeed.
So I believe, with my core, I really have this conviction that every human being should write and publish a book. And the only way you can do that is what you call self-publishing. But we have to move away from that term of self-publishing because we have to integrate this culture. This is a culture. It should be as a culture where when the child is growing up, we inculcate in that child's intention and desire the job of writing and publishing a book. It could be when you're 50 or 20 or 30 or whatever. I would love to see young people do it. If we can build a world like that, we would improve human nature so much.
You know, when you said about every human should write and publish a book, I like biographies and autobiographies because they fill in that outline of the history. Let's say the history of Guyana. We know the history of Guyana, but every Guyanese has played a part in that history. And if you put your story and my story, it's a different Guyana you'll read about.
So I think about it differently, Petamber. I like Northrop Frye, who was a professor in Canada. You know his work. He was a literary critic. He gave an important talk in Canada one time at Massey lecture. And he talked about the educated imagination. That really resonated with me. So when I say everybody should write and publish their book, it's not necessarily based on your past. It's not necessarily based on your biography. You integrate, I mean, you're you, right? You're the author. Obviously, your personality and everything would go into the work. But what I'm talking about is every human being creating a book, writing and publishing a book, authoring a book and publishing it online, let's say a Sims book, our format, as what they imagine their life could be.
I was just about to project that way. You can even, when you said not only writing about the past, but you can imagine.
That's right. That's right. They create, because human beings, we create the world. Reality is a construct. I believe this. Reality is not what we see out here. We construct reality, and it's only based on what we imagine is possible. So we need to train humans, and literature is the way is where this happens, and books. We need to train humans to think about the future. What can my tomorrow be like? What kind of life? And now with Guyana being basically becoming a fourth world country, very advanced economically developed, and with one of the world's fastest growing GDP per capita, the country has, I mean, now Guyanese don't even want to do, like Vice President Jagdeo was saying, they don't want to do labor work, and only the Venezuelans and the Brazilians coming in to do that. So Guyanese are moving up in terms of self-actualization, aiming for those bigger things. And like Drucker talked about, our aspirational self. So when I talk about writing and publishing a book, is what do you aspire for your life to be? How do you self-actualize? Maslow's thing, right? Mm-hmm. How do you, and Northrop Frye talked about tertiary concerns instead of primary concerns. For so long as Guyanese, we've lived.
Yeah.
We were once as poor as Haiti. In 1992, we were as poor as Haiti. With the Bourne Report, I did reports on this in Stabrook News. Guyanese was so poor, and for the 80s we had to line up for food and all those things. But now it's different, so we no longer need to care about just survival stuff. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Now this kind of thing is a huge mindset shift for the whole nation. It's a whole psychological reinvention of what it means to be not only a Guyanese but a human being. Like when just now I'm coming on the road and the taxis passing my Stabrook Market, and we see a whole bunch of people standing, and this is not criticizing people, it's just observation, especially as a journalist, but also as an author. People are standing on the, on the roadside, the cars are passing by the Stabrook Market, and some people are selling mats, some people are selling Christmas decoration. One lady had a stand with some oranges on it, and this is what we call human living. They're making their living. We got to move beyond that. We got to really upgrade people in terms of their mindset, that they believe it's not about government giving them things or handouts. It's about you creating the life that you want. Yeah. Only literature can do this. Only books can do this.
I'm glad you've come, let's say, full circle. Mm-hmm. Not too long ago you said literature is the future.
It is, yeah.
Expand on that and like, let's say
2 minutes.
Closing last words.
So let me respond to that this way. We live in a world now of AI, artificial intelligence. And actually what I'm doing now in Guyana is rolling out, our company developed an artificial intelligence tool for people to develop a life plan, write and publish a book. We have an artificial intelligence. I want to roll it out to 50,000, 60,000 young people in this country, in the hinterland, in schools here, all over the place. I believe the way AI is trained is how humans should be trained. AI is trained on literature, on language, on a whole huge body of text, right? Like OpenAI, for example, with ChatGPT, took about 1 trillion pieces of text and trained the AI. We need to do that with humans. Train them on literature. Train them on deep thinking, on Tolstoy even Guyanese. We say, CXC says we only need Caribbean literature. It's too limiting. We need the Russian literature. We need French. We need English.
There are good literature.
Yeah. We need Guyanese to read Finnegan's Wake and Ulysses.
You know what I miss? I miss the bookstore at
Fogarty's?
Freedom House.
Oh, Michael Ford, yeah.
Michael Ford. All right. Where we used to get books from behind the Island Court.
Yes, yes, yes.
Amazing stuff. Many there, the publisher, there was one publisher, remember, named Progress Press. Some amazing stuff. Some amazing piece of writing, Russia, China, and all that.
Yeah. Well, it can't be Dostoevsky.
We only think about literature in English.
No. Dostoevsky, Nabokov, you have Tolstoy is my favorite. My first literature book I read was Tolstoy's book called Resurrection. My dad had it in the house. I was 12 or 13 years old, picked it up and read it, and I fell in love with literature.
Shaun Michael Samaroo.
Thank you,
It's
sir.
been great.
Thank you.
Great conversation. I hope you get a chance to complete your work. and then to sit back and think about something new.
Yes.
Thank you so
Thank you.
very
Thank you.
much.